Imagine a place where cannonballs are encouraged, marshmallows are mandatory, and just 5 more minutes turns into all day. That's Veranda Beach Resort on Lake Osoyoos, one of the warmest freshwater lakes in North America, located on the border of Canada in Oroville, Washington. The vibe is delightfully old school, with time spent with family and friends at the beach, on the lake, and under the stars. Sounds of laughter, dogs, and screen doors are the soundtracks of your stay. Rent your own fully furnished cottage with Wi-Fi and all the comforts you need. It's the best of then with all the ease of now. Veranda Beach Resort. Come play, stay, and make memories. Visit verandabeach.com now to book your stay.
Ever notice how life's best stories don't happen in your living room? They happen on the open road, out on the water, or parked under the stars. At Progressive, they get that you want to focus on the experience, not worry about the what-ifs. That's why they offer quality insurance designed for your ride, whether that's a boat, RV, or motorcycle. Adventure with confidence. Visit Progressive.com and see how easy it is to protect your favorite way to get away. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in D.C. Prices vary based on how you buy.
Don't ask me to talk.
And we're back. Welcome to yet another exciting edition of Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
Hey, everybody. I'm the other one. I'm Stacey Heller, and it is so good to be back. And Eric, I just got to tell you, you missed an opportunity because you didn't hit record when I first got on and you went to get water. And
Yes.
I just had like a whole funny little bit all by myself thinking that I was recording and you missed it.
I thought you were talking to your cat because I heard him respond as soon as I walked back in the room.
Yes, I was talking about being in the back of a police car and how they record you and some people know it and some people don't. And then I was talking about the cat distribution system and how I wish that a kitten would show up. But I was like, but then they grow up and like, you've got to take care of them and they start to become old and annoying like Cole. No offense, Cole. And he meowed right on cue.
He said, speaking of old and annoying.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. I've been, as you know, I've been at Veranda for the whole beginning of the summer.
Yeah.
It's not even technically summer yet.
No, that doesn't start until this weekend.
I know.
On Father's Day.
Oh, look at that. Yeah. A gift. Oh, isn't that interesting? Spring is for mothers. It's stormy and unpredictable. And summer is what?
Dads and grads.
Yes, there you go. So I've been at Veranda. However, Pete and I took a little trip to California. We met there to visit our son, Charlie, who lives in Southern California. So we finally got to go see his digs, where he's living and where he's working and how it's going.
Sounds nice.
Yeah. Look, he moved in with a guy who is a machinist of some kind and really smart guy. I got to see a 3D printer up close and personal because he has a 3D printer and did
you make any parts for your vacuum?
I did not.
Because I can give you some tips on that.
I appreciate that. However, this was very set up. And it's one of those things where I felt like it would be booby trapped and like the guy would notice if I moved something like ever so slightly to the left. Mm-hmm.
That's just how they look.
Sure. We'll go with that. So the funny thing about this apartment, Charlie ended up connecting with this guy through mutual acquaintances, yada, yada, yada. And he went to Japan before Charlie even moved in. So then when Charlie moved in, his suitcase from the trip was in the middle of the floor open for a long time. Now, it's been 9 months, something like that. And maybe 10 months now. And the suitcase is at least closed and still on the floor. And I was just like, oh, this is how like some people live. This is cool. You know, right. Is this like
no judgment in that line at all?
It is not judgment. It is like genuine, like, I don't understand. Like Charlie, classic ADHD. I'm actually the same way. I am very tidy. I'm not necessarily clean. So, and if I make a mess, it's like I know where everything is, right? That's a total ADHD thing.
Right.
Charlie's the same way. The stuff that he cares a lot about, it's in like pristine condition. The rest of the stuff, it's like he shoves it away somewhere and he's like, I'm not going to think about this until I go to find something, and then everything falls out. So honestly, no judgment. And
I feel like there's a lot of memes, etc., on the internet about how single guys live, and it's like often just like a mattress on the floor and then the video game console set up next to the mattress so they can sit upright and then play the video games before crashing.
I mean, honestly, I am like, what is this? It's actually a really nice apartment in a really great complex. It has a beautiful pool and like all the amenities that you would want. It's super nice. However, the two guys that live there, one of them being my son, they don't go outside. It's like they're vampires. It's like, and you know, Charlie works from home 2 days a week, and he definitely is a gamer, but he ventures outside of his bedroom, whereas the roommate really doesn't. And so, you know,
this sounds like the ideal roommate.
It does.
Stays in his room the whole time. Yes, please.
It does.
Okay.
It does.
Pays half the rent. Yes.
Yeah.
I never could find that scenario when I was young and broke.
Yeah, it's just that there's like the trail of stuff that's left all over the place. And so then Charlie's too polite to say, hey man, I don't know, could you like do something with your suitcase that's been here for the past 10 months? It's like, you need to put yellow tape around this one corner of the living room because it's taking up a lot of space, and, you know, it's funky. And Charlie is trying to set this up like a real apartment. Like he went out and he got a couch and he found this really nice lamp. He's been, you know, using Facebook Marketplace, and he's trying to like set it up with an aesthetic and the whole thing. Anyway, our gift to our kids when they graduate college, we already gave them the gift of college. We paid for most of it, and, you know, you're welcome. And so when they move out, we help them get settled. Well, with Charlie, he never really had that. He moved on his own and was like, I've got this. And so this trip was kind of about helping him get settled. So at first he was like, no, you don't need to spend any money. I don't need anything. This isn't my forever furniture. And we're like, Next thing you know, we've got bookshelves with like doors on the bottom for the entertainment center in the living room. And then he's like, well, actually in a bookshelf next to my bed, and I'd like to use it as a nightstand. So we found one at IKEA where you can actually pull out the shelf so he could use it as a nightstand. And then in the kitchen, it was like a whole corner bookshelf where he could put all of his stuff because the roommate stuff is all over the place. And then as a mother, I'm just like twitching, right? I just want to like go through the apartment and just throw away the stuff that clearly they don't care about. Like he had stuff that I had given him for Christmas that's sort of still in this basket. I'm like, get rid of it, my fan. Like, go, just get, like, don't worry about it. You don't need it. You don't want it. You're not going to eat it. You're not going to use it. Just throw it away. So I was getting twitchy, and I was not the first to break though. No. Pete was like, that's it. We're hiring someone to come in and do a deep clean. I can't stand it. And so anyway, that is how I spent my 34th wedding anniversary weekend this past weekend.
That's why you don't have your parents come visit you when you're a young person.
I mean, God love this child. He is just, and if I touched anything, he was like, "What did you touch?" And I realized, remember I mentioned like I thought that the roommate had like the area booby trapped where he'd notice if anything was touched. No, that's my son. He was like, "What did you touch?" I said, "Nothing. I just moved the paper towels." And he's like, "And you moved this too." And I was like, oh my God. So I chilled out. I plugged in my phone. And while they were upstairs cursing and yelling at each other, Pete and Charlie, I stayed downstairs in a Zen mode playing Merge Manson. If I can't tidy up my son's home, I can at least tidy up the mansion. So, yeah.
All right.
But I got to put my feet in the Pacific Ocean, so there's that.
Hey, you finally made it to the coast.
Yes. Yes.
Is that a first for you?
No.
Okay. Because I was going to say famously, I think you mentioned it once in passing. You've never been to the Washington coast.
No.
So you've been to the California coast, I guess.
Correct.
And Mexico,
yes.
of course.
And Oregon.
Yeah.
And Oregon.
Oh, okay.
But I only lived in Washington for 19 years.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It seems like a huge oversight, but you still maintain a residence here in Washington, so there's still time. Yes.
Yeah. So I have stepped foot in a lake in Washington, a couple of lakes, in fact.
Well, that's entirely different. We're talking about the ocean here.
Yeah.
The coast.
Whatever. Yes, the coast. I for some reason, I just haven't done it. Pete has gone with the kids. They went camping, and I went to Hawaii because I'm not stupid.
Are you saying that anybody that goes to the coast in Washington is stupid?
No, I'm saying that my husband taking our 4 children camping on the coast is...
I've been to the coast camping lots of times, and it's a lot of fun.
Well, good for you.
You got to be prepared for the weather, but aside from that, lots of fun to be had.
Yes, it rained the entire time they were there. They somehow managed to get their cooler stolen that they had rented from REI, and they ended up going to a mall where they're pretty sure no one else was alive, and there was just a Sears open. So anyway, very long, following any order story to what's new in my life.
But now you're spending some time back in Texas.
I am, because I wanted to remember what humidity felt like from the East Coast. So I came back here because Pete misses me. Cue the ahs. And I stepped out of our car getting home from the airport the other night, and immediately my glasses fogged.
Yeah, now that's human. I mean, it is funny because, people talk about how we have humidity here, but it's never really so hot that you really feel the humidity here. And I mean, we had a hot day this week that was like in the 90s, and it is a bit much, we're not used to that. So, but then the rest of the week has been just like perfect Goldilocks weather, and the humidity doesn't factor into it. But it is wild, like when you go to a place that is really humid, like how different it feels. Like I remember spending a summer in Virginia and coming from California at the time, which was quite hot in the summertime. But it's a dry heat, as they say, right? And then go to Virginia, like first hot day, step outside, and I'm just like completely drenched. It's
like swamp weather.
Yes, exactly. It's a kind of weather where you make your own gravy, essentially.
Yep. Big time. Big time.
So I never appreciated the difference between the dry heat and the humid heat until then. But I will say this, that also dry heat, if it's too hot, it's too hot. It doesn't make that much of a difference, but it is a weird feeling to just be like not used to humidity at all and then just step outside and you're like, why are all my clothes wet? Did I just go into a pool?
It is.
Did I walk through a car wash
crazy.
and not realize it?
I mean, I just opened the door to my balcony this morning and even the cat was like, oh, hell no. I mean, it is oppressive. It's like today, the temperature was 88 degrees, sort of mid-afternoon, but it has the whole feels like 101. I mean, no wonder the pools at the complexes around here are pristine. Nobody uses them because they're like, I'm staying in my air-conditioned home. I'm not leaving. Like, it's insane. So while I am very happy to be spending time with the aforementioned Cole and with Pete, of course, I got to tell you, between you, me, and our listeners, I'm very excited to get back to Veranda Beach. The weather is, even when it's an overcast day, it's like, oh, I'm going to stay inside and read and be cozy, or like, oh, I'm going to do a puzzle, or I'm going to go for a walk, or, go explore something. There's always something to do no matter what the weather is. So just saying, I am missing VB big time.
Well, luckily
Anyway.
you'll be able to get back soon. So.
Yes, which, by the way, for those of you that are listening, we've talked about Veranda Beach before, and it's where Pete and I have a house, and we adore it, and they are a sponsor of the show. However, you'll notice we've never had a sponsor before, but that's because, like, Eric and I have to actually really like what it is that we're going to partner with, and I really love Veranda Beach. And if you're listening, you can actually contact them, give them a call and say you want to check it out, and you'll get 10% off your stay. So mention us, mention me, the show, and they would love to give you a discount if you come visit.
Yeah, I got to visit a few weeks ago and had a great time. So I can testify that it is truly a beautiful spot and very nice place to get away for a few days for sure.
Yeah, totally. So how have you been?
Do we have time for that?
I know. I'm sorry. How is your tooth? Do you still have a hole? Like the
yeah, I'm still
like the prospector?
I'm still missing a tooth, and it seems to have been healed now completely. I feel like I'm no longer tasting blood like when I chew a piece of gum.
Oh God.
So that's good on the upside, but it really is still quite weird how, like, every bite of food I have, like, a chunk of it will just, make a little fake tooth for me. Like, if I'm chewing a piece of gum, it's all right up in that spot, like, immediately. There's no, like, not even a second before it's whoosh, like, up in that slot. I'm thinking, like, we talked about Play-Doh. Like, maybe I need to make a Play-Doh tooth or something to just...
Yeah. They used to have that set where it was like the guy's mouth and you made Play-Doh teeth. We got to search for it for you.
Oh, I don't think I ever saw that, but yeah, something like that. I think I may need, because it's like every drink, it's like I immediately feel it on that little spot of gums, and I feel like I'm making more slop than usual too. So. We'll see if I can sing properly on our gig coming up this Saturday at the Valley. We've been rehearsing
in Tacoma.
Yeah, in Tacoma. Yeah, and we've been rehearsing. It's been sounding good, so I think we're in good shape. But it may just have just a touch of a lisp because of the missing tooth thing.
Sister Sally sitting on a thistle.
Pretty much, yes. Yeah. So aside from that, though, it's been pretty good. Yeah, Gertie is still alive and thriving. She just had a vet appointment, and they said that her medication levels were where they should be. So, yeah.
Hey, that's good news.
She does not like the heat, though. I'll tell you that much. Like it.
Fair, Gertie.
Yeah. She feels the same way about it as you feel about the humidity, basically. Like, no thanks. I'm staying inside. So, yeah. But it's been a good couple weeks. Last week we were unfortunately off because you were in the middle of your busy travel schedule there.
Yes.
But so happy to be back and happy to talk about our cultural blind spots, or CBSs, if you will, in the next segment. And I ended up watching so much stuff because I had the extra week that now, paring it down on what to talk about is going to be the hard part, but I'll have to think about it during the break.
Well, we'll just keep this section shorter than usual, and that'll give us more time.
We're already longer than we normally go, so I don't see how that's going to happen. But yeah, we should probably take a break now and then come right back and get into our cultural blind spots for the week. And we got our great debate coming up. And speaking of dental stuff, flossing before brushing, we'll find out.
Totally. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned, everybody. We'll be back in a moment with more Don't Ask Me to Talk. This is Eric Ryder. If you like alternative rock, indie, post-punk, art rock, or whatever you want to call it, you may like the band Battersea. Our debut album, Shooting Day for Night, is out now, and you can find it at batterseatheband.bandcamp.com or most places you stream music, like Spotify, YouTube, etc. That's Battersea, BATTERSEA, theband.bandcamp.com. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your co-hosts and podcast pals, Eric Ryder.
Hey, I'm your other pal. I'm Stacey Heller, and welcome back to the show. I am so excited about the cultural blind spot that I watched this week. It connected so much for me to a favorite show that I watched as a kid.
Should I guess? Now, is this a movie adaptation of the show that you watched, or it just had a similar vibe?
No, this is just a whole thing. So, do you want to explain what cultural blind spots are, or should I just go right into it?
Well, for listeners joining us for the first time, we've been talking about those big pieces of culture that up to this point in our lives we have avoided. Even though they feel like anytime we mention, oh, I haven't seen that people are going to be like, what? How could you not have seen such and such? And there's a lot of those for me. Like, it just happened literally this last week when I said I hadn't seen Forrest Gump. And then somebody was like, what? You haven't seen Forrest Gump? And so it happens all the time with us. Like, we've had our heads in the sand, apparently, for big pieces of culture up till now.
Big time.
Now we're trying to remedy that, and so we're checking off some of these things off our list, and we're talking about them on the show. And I understand that you did the same thing this week. You saw something that a lot of people would say, what? You've never seen? So tell us what it was.
Okay, so one of them I started. I haven't finished, so I'm going to save that one for next week.
All right.
But I watched Sunset Boulevard.
Hey, that's a great movie. And I watched it and talked about it on this show as one of my cultural blind spots not too long ago. So it's still fresh in the memory.
So after watching Whatever Happened to Baby Jane, I seem to kind of go through these like periods. Like for a while, it was like an apartment theme, and then it was sort of a Jack Lemmon theme.
Now, was this
And
at
then
all inspired by your trip to Southern California?
no, this was before that. This was like after the whole Whatever Happened to Baby Jane thing and these classic kind of melodramatic movies. I was like, you know what? I'm going to watch this. Now, the reason that I say it connected me to a favorite thing of my childhood is when I was a kid, we would watch as a family the Carol Burnett show. And she did a bit. And as a kid, there were certain bits that they did reoccurring. Like there was the dentist thing. There was the Gone with the Wind thing that she did. There was the bit with Mr. Tudball and Mrs. O'Wiggins. And there was the thing that she did with Norma Desmond and Max, who was played by Harvey Korman. I just loved it. She just played this very dramatic movie actress who over enunciated everything. And, you know, like she was like an old Hollywood movie icon and was batty. And I don't know, I just thought it was a character that she was making up. Hello. No, it was totally a parody of Sunset Boulevard and Max and Norma Desmond from the movie. And I was like, oh, I get it now. I really didn't know what Sunset Boulevard was about. You had talked about it. But it was just, it was something.
Now, this is a classic movie directed by Billy Wilder, and of course contains that famous line is, I'm ready for my close-up now, Mr. DeMille. And so once you watch this movie, there is lots that, you see echoed through culture since 1950. And it's been parodied countless times. I mean, again, there's a Seinfeld episode that features a pretty straight parody of this. And so many other things, that have made reference to it over the years. So it is one of those ones that it just like the puzzle pieces come together when you watch it like, oh. But on top of that, it really is a fun movie and really well made.
Totally. And, a couple things. First of all, there was so many famous people that were actually in the movie. Like Cecil DeMille was like in the movie. Hedda Hopper was in the movie. Buster Keaton in the movie.
Exactly.
So,
I was going to say, it lines up with my cultural blind spot that I'm actually going to talk about next time because I did watch a Buster Keaton movie, but I've got so much that I also watched that I want to talk about that next week. But it's funny that you watched Sunset Boulevard because he's like long washed up at this point in 1950, silent movie star. But does make a cameo because, again, this movie is about an actress who was at the top of her game, a huge movie star, and then her career, just went off a cliff, essentially. So she's kind of a hermit in this big decaying house. And then she ends up, having something of a relationship with a writer, I think it is.
Writer.
Yeah, he's a writer that
becomes her boy toy.
Yeah, ends up being her boy toy. And what was fascinating with this movie is that it's like you can really put yourself in this screenwriter's character and just like, would I have gone that route or, would I? Because he was, basically on hard times himself. And it's like, here's a free place to live. Here's like this lady who's paying all this attention to him. And it's still like, oh, do I, just take that easy way or do I keep fighting to try and make it in this business? And he can see right there how the business can, drop you like a hot potato at any point. Yeah. So it's a meta movie and one of the earliest kind of meta things, I think. But yeah, very, very well done. So yeah, continue with your thoughts. Sorry, I didn't mean to get too.
Not at all. It it was totally meta in that way. You're absolutely right. And so modern. Like these movies, I mean, look, like the human story is the human story, right? It's just that it's so interesting. Like she's getting ready for her big comeback. And so she has like surgery done and she's healing and, she's trying to look younger and capture her former glory. And, while she's beloved and she goes the, to the lot where she used to film her movies and she's welcomed, it's also like, yeah, like we're not going to make this horrible movie. Like the world has moved on beyond and past her. And it makes me think of like all of those reality stars that we have talked about. And, or you see actresses where, they have had so much work done you barely recognize you or recognize them. And, you're like, you don't need to go back to your former glory, but I imagine if you're in Hollywood, it's a machine that chews you up and spits you out. And, famously, I don't know if it's from a movie or just a line somewhere, but it's like you're only as good as your last hit or something. And if your last hit was a long time ago, like you're dead. That's it. And so it also was an interesting thing about how Cole, I know you didn't like the movie. Sorry, my cat's crying. It's also an interesting
He's ready for
movie.
his close-up.
He's totally ready for his close-up. How fragile the human ego is and how closely associated your relationship with your ego is very close to your grasp on your mental health. And, it's like her ego was so fragile and she just had this break with reality. And, it was like, whoa. And that's still true today. Like we all deal with ego, which, is one side of your ego is your vanity and one side of your ego is your insecurity. And if one takes over even a little bit too much, your whole sense of self gets upended and you just lose touch with yourself and with a healthy way of being. So yeah, it was really interesting. And I had never seen, I know about that. I'm ready for my close up and I knew the general idea, but I really didn't connect the dots. And it was really sad in a way watching her come down the stairs with the police all there. And, Max figured out a way to get her downstairs with the cameras and, like thinking that she's filming something and she's, it was just such a break. And it was, for that reason, kind of heartbreaking, but so well done.
Yeah, and Max is her long suffering butler, assistant, live-in first husband. Yes, and so you can, between William Holden and Max, William Holden's character, he's the screenwriter, Joe Gillis, and Max von Mayerling, played by Eric von Stroheim, you can see like what William Holden's character may be in for, if he really goes down that route. And you can also see that Max still kind of loves Gloria Swanson's character, and so he's willing to sacrifice all these years. But it's just, there's so many layers to this movie and the relationships in it that it's a masterpiece, I think. And well worth a watch if folks haven't seen it. So I'm glad you finally got a chance to.
I did, and I was so excited. And then, as I said, I just had a chuckle, and then I had to go watch some of the old Carol Burnett bits because I was just like, oh my gosh, like this is awesome. And as you said, it's parodied all the time. I just like, you kind of need to see it for yourself.
Yes.
And it's just one of those things where, you have to see that. Like in Forrest Gump, you have to see him say, my mama always said life is like a box of chocolates.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, well, I'll get to that eventually.
Yeah. So anyway, so that was my cultural blind spot, and it was awesome. So there you go.
Well, very good. I mean, that is a classic, and yeah, I believe that is on the AFI Top 100, so another one you can cross off that particular list.
Yep.
The movies I watched this time around, and again, because we were off last week, I've got them stacking up here. So I'm just going to pick two to talk about. But these movies are not on the AFI Top 100. And they, you know, I feel like one of them at least should be on there if they revise it here in, you know, I don't know, sometime eventually. We'll see what the AFI people are doing these days, but I feel like they need to update their list because there's plenty of, you know, old dusty stuff that maybe is not as good as they remember it. But I'm going to call this, does it still hold up in this with this one? Because I had seen Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, which was a Peter Weir film and stars Russell Crowe. And I had seen it when it was in the theater back in 2003. And again, I have had this warped sense of time. Anything after 2000 feels to me like, oh, well, that was 5 years ago. That was 5 years ago. Yes. So horrified to learn. Oh, it's been 23 years.
Yeah, right? When they do all these like 25th anniversaries of some movie that's come out, I'm like, what?
Right. Yeah. Yes. But I've been wanting to rewatch this for a while because like some of the podcasts I listen to, people I respect, have mentioned, oh, what a great movie that is. And I remember at the time liking it and enjoying it and thinking like, yeah, that was a good movie. But so many people are like, this is my favorite movie, that I'm just like, I need to revisit it. Because at the time there was a series of movies that were made for A&E, and they were also on TV in Britain that were based on the Horatio Hornblower books, which is also, now for people that don't know, Master and Commander, The Far Side of the World, it's based on a series of books called Master and Commander, and it's all about like naval battles and stuff set during the Napoleonic age. And the heroes of this series of books and the movie are, you know, in the British Navy, essentially, and they're holding off Napoleon's forces. So the Horatio Hornblower movies are also set during that time period, and it's also the British Navy, and it's also really well done. So at the time when those stopped airing, I'm like, I got an itch for some more some more boat movies, some naval movies, and then sure enough, Master and Commander comes out in 2003, shortly after, and I'm like, well, this is going to scratch the itch. And it did, and I enjoyed it, and I couldn't help but think, though, boy, I kind of wish they made a big screen version of the Horatio Hornblower character and made an adventure of that. So I kind of thought of it as being slightly lesser than those at the time, but I still enjoyed it. This time watching it, I didn't have any of that kind of baggage, even though a couple years ago, I did had to show the girlfriend the Horatio Hornblower movies because I remembered them being really good, and they still hold up fantastically. They're not, I don't think they're on any of the streaming services, but I did find them on YouTube, and she really enjoyed them too. So this time around, it had been maybe a little more time in between watching that and watching Master and Commander. So this kind of stood on its own and became more of its own thing in my mind. And it really is great. I mean, brilliant performances from Russell Crowe and Paul Bettany in one of his earlier roles. And they're just great, like working off each other. Of course, Russell Crowe plays Captain Jack Aubrey. And he's the very straight-laced, perfect picture of a naval captain at sea, you know, everything by the book, and, you know, laying out the reasons why every rule exists, essentially, and just like just a perfect model of this is what a leader should be, has this like kindness, but also doesn't put up with any guff because he knows that can get people killed when you're living on this little wooden world floating on the sea, thousands of miles from home. And Paul Bettany plays the ship doctor / surgeon, and he's also like a naturalist. So a big part of this is when they go to the Galapagos Islands, he really wants to get out there and see some of these species that have never been seen or documented at this time. And then, he basically, I don't want to spoil too much, but they end up, getting yanked back into battles so many times that he doesn't get to do his naturalist thing. But, it's just like, this is duty. We got to do this thing. So,
yeah.
And the funny thing about this movie is there's not like a big villain for them. They're trying to stop this French ship that is, like raiding private ships and stuff. And they kind of like stumble across this ship and get attacked by them. And then, so like during the film, they run into this ship like 2-3 times, and then they're finally able to take out this ship. But
it's like, it's you again.
Yes. Yeah. But I mean, it's so much more about just the relationships of the soldiers or the sailors, I should say, on the boat. There are some Marines as well. And it's just about like that whole world, and it's about that time period. And also there's the naturalist angle too, where they're talking about, just like discovering these like creatures that they are completely new to them, the tortoises and the birds and stuff. It's just a fascinating slice of life with some neat stuff in it too, with the naval battle and stuff. So I don't think I'm like selling this as well as I should, but it really just is a very enjoyable like world to live in for a couple hours. Yeah. And I know for sure that if I was alive in that time, if I'm dropped onto a boat like this, I'm dead, like within a week. I'm not surviving this. But as a viewer,
you know what? I'm just going to walk myself off the plank.
Pretty much. As a viewer, it's really well done and really enjoyable. So, movies like
that are nice occasionally when there's not like that, it's not the kind of typical, like we get the introduction, we get the backstory, then we have like the introduction of the villain and it's man against nature or man against this or man against whatever. And then there's the resolution and like, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah,
that's the big attack or whatever fight. And then it's like, it's over and everything is great. Sometimes it's nice when you get a bit of a deeper dive into something, it's why I think historical documentaries are so interesting when they recreate things or they talk about things like that, because it's like, oh, to your point, like you literally are gone for, years on a boat and like you're disconnected to so much, but you have to be prepared for anything. So interesting.
And Peter Weir gets this exactly right. He gets the tone right. The way they film this is all like just amazing. It looks impeccable. There's no questionable CGI in this. They film this all practically, and it looks like you're in that world. There's nothing that makes you go, oh, well, that's hokey. You know what I mean? Right. It is really well done and beautifully edited. And it's a great movie.
All right.
So highly recommend that. And it still holds up. So I can't necessarily say this is a cultural blind spot, but it's one that I liked and liked even more watching it again.
Okay.
But something that was a cultural blind spot for me is hip hop, and is a cultural blind spot for me. I'm not a big hip hop guy. But I was believe it or not,
the latest man ever.
Believe it or not, I'm not a big hip hop guy. So that is a big.
This is going to have to be a reel, by the way.
But hip hop has taken over the world, right? It is. So it's like this huge cultural phenomenon, and so it's reached places we never thought it would go. For instance,
100%.
Northern Ireland, where there's a rap trio known as Kneecap, and they rap in the Irish language, and they've become huge stars, and so big, in fact, that a biography of them came out a couple years ago, and it's just called Kneecap, which is the name of the group, and they star in the movie. And I watched this recently because I'm like, the Irish angle intrigues me, right? The fact that they're rapping in another language that's, kind of a disappearing language, that intrigues me. The whole, the political aspect of Northern Ireland is fascinating. So that hooks me in. And then like the hip hop thing is secondary to me. But it did not stop me from very much enjoying this movie. And I actually kind of got into their music a little bit too. So the movie's called, go ahead.
Hip hop and rap are so like, yes, it's about a beat, but it's also so lyrical and there's a poetry. And it wouldn't surprise me that like the native tongue in Ireland, like lyrical, right? And there's a certain poetry. And so like it's a whole thing.
But imagine, imagine if I'm trying to think of like a niche language that like if somebody was rapping and say, in like one of the Indian tribe languages, like,
right.
and yet it became popular through the whole country.
Yeah.
let's say there's a Hopi rapper, and everybody just gets on board with it, even though they don't understand that language at all. That's what happened.
It's as random as the Jamaican bobsled team.
Exactly. Yes.
Got it.
But this movie is fun. It's funny. It's smart. And I thought, oh, what? They're playing themselves? This can't be good. Turns out all three of the members of Kneecap are actually really good actors, at least at playing themselves, which can be, I mean, that sounds easy, but anybody that's actually like ever tried to be filmed and do something where they're playing themselves in an exaggerated role or whatever understands that that's harder than it sounds.
Totally.
And these guys did a great job of portraying themselves and their rise to fame and the whole story. And this story is fascinating, too, because their DJ is actually a music teacher at a school. And he gets kind of hooked in by accident and then, of course, ends up getting fired from his job because these guys want to rap about, about drugs and about
right.
all kinds of stuff that is no bueno for a school teacher to be involved with.
No,
yeah, exactly.
But also.
Right. But the thing that's good about them is that because they're talking about stuff that's more of the street, the younger people are actually more interested in learning what they're saying and learning the Irish language so that they can understand these lyrics and understand what this is all about. Whereas like, trying to teach them stuff about like a horse or whatever just does not, people don't care. It's kind of, I won't say single-handedly, but they have helped keep the Irish language going and spreading among the Irish, even though, like I said, it's like the country is like 90% English only speakers. The government is in, the Republic of Ireland has done a lot to try and, keep the language alive. But it's a tough thing. It's a losing battle when, English is, it's the number one language in the world, essentially. So it's hard to justify, oh, this is our native tongue, but we all speak this other language that the whole world speaks.
Right. It's hard to compete. Now, are they still active now?
Absolutely. Yeah. Yeah, they're still active.
Okay.
And
do they wear Adidas sweat tracksuits?
They do. I mean, they...
Stop. I love it. Tell me they're like green or something.
I don't think they're wearing like necessarily Adidas in particular, which is what they would call Adidas over there.
Yes.
Yes. But they are wearing like the athletic gear, like that seems like rappers have adopted. But like one of their members, their DJ, he wears a Irish flag balaclava, which is like, we call it a ski mask. So, and he does that like for all their performances, which has got to be really uncomfortable, but he's committed. Yeah. He's committed to the bit.
Man, that's a bit. I mean, talk about getting hot.
Yes.
Like you're up there on a stage. And,
they've toured Australia.
Why did I do this bit? Yeah. Like, why did I do this?
They've played shows in California. It's
right.
Yeah.
It's like Deadmau5 and all these other ones that like have decided like, you know what, I'm going to do a bit.
I'm going to wear a big head. Like, yes. Over my head. Yes. So, yeah. But I really enjoyed this movie. I thought it was fun. I thought they were great characters. I haven't investigated their music much more than the movie, but I enjoyed the music in the movie. I thought it was really well made, and I had very low expectations for this movie because, again, it's like they're playing themselves. It's a rap group.
Yeah.
This is
like the most bizarre.
To me, this is like a niche thing. This has got to be like, I don't know. You see so many movies about like musicians and it's like Spice World or whatever, where it's like notoriously bad, but the fans of the group will enjoy it just because they're happy to see their idols up on the screen. In this case, these guys were not my idols. And I just enjoyed it because the movie was good. So that's streaming on Peacock now and very enjoyable. So, you might give it a try because it is actually, also pretty funny. That's the other thing. I mean, how they balance that of telling a true story and it being like very funny is also like a tough line to walk, but they managed to do it. So I was very impressed and very pleased that I didn't feel like, no thanks, after about, 20 minutes, like I sometimes feel with movies. So.
No, but that's so fun and so random. Like it totally reminds me of the Jamaican bobsled team. Like, and they even made a movie about that, right?
Right. But the Jamaican bobsled team did not play themselves in that movie, as far as I know.
No. Yeah. So I mean, and you can either like edit yourself so that you look better, or you can over exaggerate yourself and whatever. So for them to come across as pretty natural, like that's awesome.
Yeah.
I love it. That's so cool. Did they have to have like subtitles?
No. Well, I mean, I guess some of the Irish language stuff they did have subtitles. Okay. Yeah. But I thought you meant just
it's like watching a Guy Ritchie movie.
Not when,
like, what are they saying?
Yes. You can turn on the closed captioning for sure if you're having trouble with the brogue. But I got to say the Northern Irish accent is very understandable to me. It's like sometimes I have trouble with like some British accents. Sometimes some parts of Ireland, the brogue is kind of thick and it's tough, especially when I've had no sleep. I've been confused by bus drivers and stuff over there. But like typically Northern Irish accents are like very, very clear to me, I think. Yeah. Okay. So I think you might feel the same way if you watch it. But there's no shame in turning on the subtitles. I turn on subtitles a lot these days because I have a habit of, like you, where you're staring at your phone the whole time. I don't do that, but I do sometimes play guitar while I'm watching, and I turn on the subtitles so I don't miss dialogue. So that happens sometimes. But for this, I didn't have subtitles on at all. But the ones that they put in for when it was Irish language stuff was admittedly helpful.
There you go. All right. I love this. This is so fun. What a random thing. I'm always like, who watches this stuff? Well, it turns out it's Eric.
I mean, this is a very popular group. Lots of people will know Kneecap. It's not, just to me, it was a blind spot because, again, with the hip hop thing, I'm not that into hip hop, even if it's, Irish hip hop.
Right.
But there is a group called Rubber Bandits that I do unironically love. They are very funny, and they are Irish hip hop as well. So,
I mean, come on, the name is just good. Rubber Bandits, like,
right?
So good. Yeah. That's like amazing. All right. Well, that's kind of fun. I love that. Something about when you talk about these movies, I'm always like, I got to go watch that. So I may have to go watch that.
Very good.
Because I love me some hip hop. Because, I am so hip to the scene. I love me some salt and pepper. Anyway, okay, well, should we take a break and then come back and talk about our big topic of the week?
Our great debate? Yes. Which, again, was about flossing before brushing. So let's see if we can fit this into the 5 minutes that we have left in the show. I got a feeling this may not be one of our longer debates. We'll find out.
Maybe. All right.
Everybody stay tuned for more. Don't Ask Me to Talk. Imagine a place where cannonballs are encouraged, marshmallows are mandatory, and just 5 more minutes turns into all day. That's Veranda Beach Resort on Lake Osoyoos, one of the warmest freshwater lakes in North America, located on the border of Canada in Oroville, Washington. The vibe is delightfully old school, with time spent with family and friends at the beach, on the lake, and under the stars. Sounds of laughter, dogs, and screen doors are the soundtracks of your stay. Rent your own fully furnished cottage with Wi-Fi and all the comforts you need. It's the best of then with all the ease of now. Veranda Beach Resort. Come play, stay, and make memories. Visit verandabeach.com now to book your stay. And we're back right here on Don't Ask Me to Talk. I'm one of your podcast pals. I'm Eric Ryder.
I'm Stacey Heller, and I am so excited for this topic.
Okay.
Not really. No, but I will say, while I was away this weekend, I had sort of forgotten, I 100% had forgotten what we were talking about. And at the hotel where we were staying, there was the inner sanctum sink, in where the shower was, and then the outer sanctum sink. And so I was in the outer sanctum and 2 sinks.
Wow, deluxe.
Yeah, right. And Pete and I were brushing our teeth at the same time. Then he flossed. And I was like, you floss after you brush?
Okay.
And he was like, yeah, I've always done that. And I'm like, then do you brush again? And he said, no. And I was like, what? So, and I completely forgot that this is what we were talking about.
Right.
And then lo and behold, this shows up.
It showed up in real life.
And I didn't think that I had an opinion about this.
Yeah.
I thought it was whatever. But apparently I have an opinion about this.
Well, I always ask you, what was the inspiration for putting this topic on the Wheel of Topics? Because as we all know, we spin the Wheel of Topics each week. A random topic comes up, but it's not completely random because you come up with the various topics that go on the wheel in the first place. And usually there's some kernel of inspiration that makes you put something on there to begin with. And this experience happened well after it's been on the wheel. and after we selected it. So was there anything before that, an initial experience that made you go, okay, this is a good topic?
I think it's like just the whole flossing debate. And I am actually not a big flosser. I use like these little teeth pick things and I'll use them instead. And so I was just like, I'm not great about flossing. And I think it was like, who flosses anyway? I think a lot of people floss. And, so it was just a whole debate about, are the little toothpicks
all the dentists listening to the show, like pulling out their hair when you say.
Well, you know what, guys? You could be a sponsor and I would be far more interested in flossing. I'm just saying.
How am I the one that's missing a tooth now?
I don't know, man. You know what? I'm just saying. Advancement is not always advancement. And then like my kids, they use the whole water pick system, which I tried once. And that was basically like going through a car wash with your windows open. I was just like, and so naturally it had to make its way to the wheel because anything that's a disaster to me like is perfect fodder for conversation.
Yeah, I agree with that. Now, so here's the thing. Now, I famously have had like challenges with dental care. We talked about it on the show for the last 2 years. So I feel like giving an opinion on this, people are going to be like, roll their eyes, take it with a grain of salt, whatever. But it seems so obvious to me that you would floss and then brush. But I have also run into people before that are like, oh, it doesn't matter. So I don't understand how. So I tell you what, I obviously say floss before brushing, but because of me talking through a missing tooth now, I looked it up. And according
what the American Dental Association recommends.
Yes, online. I did some research on this for the first time ever on the show.
There you go. Look at us.
And according to an article in Good Housekeeping, where they did talk to dentists, they said floss before you brush, obviously because, this removes debris and, loosens debris that would be cleaned by brushing afterwards. So if you're brushing first, you're brushing with debris stuck between your teeth. Some of that will come out, some will not. But then you're doing the flossing and taking that out, but you're not getting like the fluoride in between your teeth where that places are. So you're missing spots where the toothpaste would actually be doing the most good.
I'm 100% in agreement. I am fascinated that my husband is some weirdo that flosses after, because I was like, I'll always take the little pick and I'll be like cleaning out my teeth and whatever. And then you want to get it out. And so you brush your teeth to then clear it out. And the other thing, which this is sort of off topic, but on topic, I want to know your system for when you brush your teeth. Like from the moment that you grab your toothbrush, what is your process?
Okay, so
you know where I'm going with this?
Not exactly, but let me just put a disclaimer that my oral care has evolved over the last year or so.
Yes.
Because I took a break from going to the dentist, and then when I came, I finally picked a dentist after my old dentist had retired, and I was going in for cleanings, and they were taking a look every 6 months or so, and things were looking good, and then at least 4 or 5 years passed before I got back to a dentist, and then they're like, hey, you got these cavities, etc. And so they have been saying like, oh, you should really, maybe you should switch to a water pick. you should do this, you should do that. And
But
previous,
I'm just talking about the basic.
right. But previous to that, I had said like, yeah, whatever. It's getting, I'm here for cleanings and checkups every 6 months. It's all going to come out in the wash. So I have upped my game, I feel like.
Okay.
But before, it was like I would floss once a day, and I would use a dental rinse, and I would brush my teeth. First, I would do a little bit of flossing. Then I would do and I had the hardest time getting into flossing because my teeth were so close together that it used to be if I put floss in, it would just shred apart and I would end up with floss stuck between my teeth. So then I switched to the picks that have the little piece of floss. Then the floss would break on that. So then I switched to they finally came out with the special floss that was real thin, like the high-tech floss. I can't remember who originally made that, but that made a huge difference. So I was able to finally start flossing for real. Started using that, kept on using the dental rinse, and then I switched to an electric toothbrush too. I thought with this, I can't go wrong. I'm a master of tooth care now, right? Only to find that taking a break for 4 or 5 years from going to the dentist, I still had a lot of problems. Now, my theory is the fact that I'm a grinder. I grind my teeth because of anxiety and stress and whatever. It's just a bad habit that I've tried to stop, but it's buried deep in the psyche. It's not something I can just turn off with a switch, Right. So I believe that is the real source of my problems. But okay, so floss, then rinse, then brush. And now I've switched to using a water pick, and I put in some of the dental rinse in the water pick, 2 birds, 1 stone. Then I use the electric toothbrush, and I feel like I'm doing a pretty good job now with dental care.
Well, that was a very long answer, and what I wanted was, first, I take my toothbrush and I put toothpaste on it, and then I run it under water or whatever. Because do you do the thing where you wet your toothbrush, put the toothpaste on, and then wet it again?
No.
I do that, and I don't know what my problem is.
Yeah.
So the whole toothbrush thing is such a weird, arbitrary, what you were taught and how you were raised, and it's just messed with me
because it's the ritual de la habitual. It's this is what we've done every day, so we continue to do it. It's the habits that we get in. Yeah, I rinse off my toothbrush, then I put the toothpaste on, and then I brush my teeth. And I think that's the way to go. It's like flossing before brushing. It's because regardless of how you're storing your toothbrush, you're still going to get germs and stuff floating through the air on that. So you rinse it off and then it's clean. Then you put the toothpaste on, then you brush your teeth.
Right. Well, yes. So I rinse the toothbrush, add the toothpaste, then rinse that.
Wait, why? But then you're rinsing toothpaste down the drain.
No, I'm not, because it's a nice big glob. It's fine.
But
it's like adding water to my soap.
If you're running water on top of your toothpaste.
Okay, who's missing a tooth, mister?
Hey.
So I'd be careful if I were you.
Okay, let me ask Good Housekeeping if they recommend rinsing your toothpaste down the drain.
I'm just saying, it's a thing. And now I will
You're the only person I've ever heard of that does this. But okay, it is a thing.
You know what? Hey, listeners, similar to the whole did you ever suck Jell-O through your tooth thing, let me know what your process is. Do you wet the brush and then add the toothpaste and then wet that? Or does it just what's your mode? And the whole flossing thing, I now get to tell my husband that according to the ADA, via good housekeeping, you should floss first so that you can loosen all the bits
Right.
and then brush it out
Yes.
and spit.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I was shocked. Like I said, I didn't know I had an opinion. And then I literally was like, you floss after you brush? And he was like, yeah. I'm like, fascinating. Because then all that stuff is just resettling in.
Now, if anybody's going to write in and tell me, by the way, that if I'm grinding that I should use a night guard, I have a really strong gag reflex, so night guards have never worked well for me. And B, I do a lot of grinding during the day, so I can't live my life with a night guard in my mouth at all times. So I'll just say that just preemptively for people writing in to tell you that you're not a weirdo for rinsing your toothpaste down the drain after you've put it on your toothbrush.
And could I maybe suggest perhaps you need like therapy or counseling to lessen the anxiety and stress that you are dealing with? And perhaps doing that would help.
Maybe there's a lot of things I could do in life that would be beneficial for me. That doesn't mean it's happening.
Okay. You know what? Fair. Who am I to call the kettle black? So there you go. All right. So you know what? We would love to hear from our listeners to find out what is your process and has it benefited you? Like I would take some tips and tricks.
Yeah. Oh, and I was going to mention that with the surgery that I had where they took out the tooth, they did give me this interesting rinse called Stella Life, which it seems to be like doing a good job helping things heal up.
Okay.
But it's like $30 a bottle. So I'm trying to find like a cheaper version of it that I could maybe start using because apparently I need all the help I can get at all times.
There you go.
Yeah.
By the way, we have a real-time update from my husband who happens to be sitting here, and he wants us to know that it's maybe a bad thing to flush after, I keep saying floss after you brush, unless you use mouthwash.
You know, you should still floss, then use the mouthwash.
But he just wants he wants you to know that he's using the mouthwash.
I mean, is that better?
Yeah.
Yes, that is better. But ideally, you would still floss first and then brush.
I will let you know. And I felt like I needed to do like a this just did.
I really feel like also the mouthwash should come before the brush because you're rinsing your mouth out after you brush your teeth. You know what I mean?
I thought the mouthwash was supposed to be like the last thing.
No, because then you have that in your mouth, the residue. Ugh.
Wow. And then you have some orange juice and it's delicious.
No.
Interesting. Okay. Well.
All right. So we settled this one.
Yeah,
good housekeeping.
More than 5 minutes.
We're setting the record straight. And speaking of setting the record straight, you know, last time when we played a game and both of us thought, well, there's no way that places near the equator don't have 4 seasons. They got to have the 4 seasons.
I mean, come on.
Where are you going to stay?
What a better place to put a press conference together.
But you know what? I looked it up and apparently, yes, they only have the rainy season and the dry season. They don't have like fall, winter, spring, summer, which is mind-blowing. Wow. I thought regardless of how the weather was, it would still be considered those seasons. But apparently not.
Wow.
So
you learn something new every day.
I forget the name of the game that we were playing. You Ought to Know, I think it was.
You Ought to Know.
Yeah.
Well, you ought to know.
So
people. There are no 4 seasons if you are near the equator.
So I just wanted to offer my apologies to them. You're no longer on notice. So.
Well, there you go. All right.
All right. Well,
look at us.
Well, now we've got to figure out what we're topping next week. So. All right. So this one is interesting. It's breakfast that Now, is that breakfast that breakfast that imitates, breakfast that immaterial?
Is breakfast really
that
that
Imodium
important?
AD is? Oh.
No.
Okay.
Is breakfast really that important? They say it's the most important meal. Is it really that important?
I feel like we talked about this, but maybe it was only in passing and not a great debate. Because you famously don't eat breakfast.
I know. There is
even though
nothing like a
I
tuna
did
fish
witness
sandwich in
you
the
eat
morning.
breakfast when I visited you. So,
Well, that's because you were there.
right.
And at that point, it was sort of lunch. So whatever.
Well, lunch for you. You get up a lot earlier
Exactly.
than me,
Yeah. Well,
which is why you're taking that 7:00 phone call from the dealership where I am letting it go to voicemail.
exactly. And if you don't know what we're talking about, listen to the last show and you can find it wherever you listen to your favorite podcasts.
Very true. All right, we did it. We somehow made a 30-second topic into a full-length segment because that's what we do.
Don't ask me to talk.
There you go. All right. We love you. Thanks so much for listening, everybody. Have yourself a wonderful week. Stacy, try to stay dry. Try and keep your powder dry down there in Texas.
Yeah, I am going to work on it. And I'll tell you what else I'm going to do. I'm going to floss before I brush.
Me too. I'm going to, and I'm going to do it with a water pick in case my dentist is listening.
There you go.
All right. Thanks, everybody.
Have a great week.